Lamine Yamal!
Lamine Yamal, the kid who broke every record at just 18 years old.
The best player in the world right now is Lamine Yamal.
At the same age, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo were only at the very start of their professional careers. They barely played for the first team. But Lamine has already won the European Championship and La Liga, and he's made over 100 appearances for club and country. But how is it even possible? How can an 18-year-old skinny teenager already be called by many the best football player in the world?
Has anyone done what this guy's done at 17 years old?
Today, we're looking at his story because it wasn't all as easy as it looked.
Para Lamine Yamal dentro del área, se va a recortar, se va de dos, se va de tres, va el disparo, ¡gol!
Lamine was born on July 13, 2007 in a suburb of Barcelona. His dad is from Morocco and his mom from Equatorial Guinea. When he was 3, his parents separated and he mostly lived with his father in the Rocafonda neighborhood. This place still means a lot to Lamine, which you can see during his goal celebrations. He shows the number 3, 0 and 4 with his fingers, the last digits of the Rocafonda postal code. And hey, even as a kid, Lamine was obsessed with football, and he wasn't bad at all. At 4 years old, he joined a club and several teams had their eyes on him, including Barcelona.
Lamine Yamal tendría, cuando aparece aquí en el campo, unos 3 años y medio a 4.
But his story with Barca actually started even earlier. A lot of people know this incredible photo. Lionel Messi bathing a 5-month-old Lamine. This unbelievable meeting happened in 2007 as part of a Barcelona UNICEF campaign. Back then, UNICEF held a raffle among the residents of Rocafonda. The winner would be photographed for the club's charity calendar. Lamine's name was drawn, and fate decided that the player appearing in the photo with him would be none other than the 20-year-old Lionel Messi. These photos were a glimpse into the future because 7 years later, Lamine joined Barcelona's academy, La Masia. And wow, he made quite an impact. In the U7s and U9s, Lamine was miles ahead of his teammates, and it looked like he just kept getting better and better.
Yo creo que cuando llego a infantil, a cadete, ya me doy cuenta de que tengo algo especial.
I mean, look at this technique or this shot.
Que nadie le sale, viene a recibir Lamine Yamal, tomando la responsabilidad, tira Lamine, qué golazo!
His coach at the time said, "What surprised me the most was that he just kept getting better and better. He stood out more and more." And then, at 12 years old, came a decision that brought his dream of becoming a professional footballer a big step closer.
Y con 12 años, pues decidimos que él viniera a vivir a La Masia.
After scoring 56 goals in 30 games in a single season, and that against much older opponents, the people in charge at La Masia were sure this winger had the potential to be the next big star from the famous academy. And hey, he kept shining.
Por parte azulgrana, Lamine Yamal, que la cuelga, balón para Yamal, gol!
Nevertheless, he stayed humble, he was shy, and he just wanted to play football. But there was one quality the coaches loved about him.
Él no tiene miedo y entonces, bueno, siempre es atrevido, ¿no? Le es igual jugar en el patio de su casa que en la calle que en el Bernabéu.
As he kept developing, the world started to notice, especially at the La Liga Promises Santander tournament, where Barca faced Liverpool, Juventus and Dortmund, as well as several top Spanish teams. And Lamine dominated the tournament. He scored 7 goals, played a key role in the 6-1 win over Real Madrid, the first of many times he humiliated his arch rivals, and he was ultimately named player of the tournament, and Barcelona won the trophy. After that tournament, Spain started to really notice him too, and Yamal was invited to train with the U15 and U16 teams. And despite the older defenders being physically stronger, he kept breezing past them with ease. Everything seemed perfect, and then a highlight in Lamine's young career. During the 2022-23 season, when Lamine was still just 15 years old, something happened that many wouldn't have expected. Coach Xavi saw the massive potential and brought Lamine up to first-team training in September 2022, and he impressed.
First time in my life I saw someone, because I saw a lot of young talented players, but first time in my life I saw that I have inside this, wow, who is it?
Whoa!
In training sessions, Yamal danced past Jordi Alba, Gerard Piqué and Sergio Busquets, and many people at the club thought, hey, this is the next Lionel Messi. But he was still a kid, and both Xavi and Barca knew they had to build up their coming superstar carefully before showing him to the world. On April 23, 2023, Yamal was named in a La Liga matchday squad for the first time against Atletico Madrid. He didn't play in the tied 1-0 win, but a week later he made the squad again, this time against Real Betis. After 83 minutes with a comfortable 4-0 lead, Xavi decided the moment had come to show the wonder kid to the world. At 15 years and 290 days old, Yamal replaced Gavi and became the youngest player ever to wear the Blaugrana shirt in a league game. And during his short cameo against Betis, the 15-year-old already showed flashes of his talent. He almost scored a goal. In 2023, after impressing with Spain's youth teams, he was part of the squad for the U17 European Championship. Even though he was only 15 years old, small and skinny, but he impressed there too.
Roberto Martin, now Yamal, this is what he loves. How about that?
Spain went out in the semi-finals of the tournament, but Lamine scored 4 goals and added 2 assists, and that drew the attention of a very big club. Rumor has it Real Madrid were interested in Lamine, and since Lamine's father is a self-confessed Real Madrid fan, Real maybe hoped his son would move to the rival, something that, according to Lamine's father, would never happen.
Munir, ¿cuántas posibilidades hay de que tu hijo acabe en el Madrid?
Normally, Barcelona would ease in a young player like him over several years, but the club was broke. They sold Ousmane Dembélé, and Ansu Fati, the once hyped next Messi, wasn't developing as hoped. Since the club couldn't make big signings, Barca had no choice but to seriously rely on the teenage wonderkid, who had just turned 16. He started the first games in the starting lineup, and then came the breakout performance. In the 4-3 win over Villarreal, he delivered 2 assists and was named man of the match. At first, coach Xavi had been hesitant to throw the ball into the deep end so quickly, but it soon became clear. The kid can survive. He featured in the Champions League and became the youngest player ever to start a game there too. And on October 8th, a very special moment. He scored his first goal, becoming the youngest goalscorer in La Liga history. Sports journalists around the world had seen enough. They saw him as Barcelona's next superstar. Yamal's creativity, love of the game and technique were visible all season, but by the turn of the year he had only scored once. Then he decided to take his game to the next level. He became the youngest scorer in the Copa del Rey and in the Supercopa, and that cemented his spot on the right wing. From then on, he was a regular starter. In April 2024, the hype around Yamal reached a new level. He became the youngest player to reach 10 goal contributions in a single La Liga season, and during his first pro season with Barcelona, Yamal broke records week after week.
El caso de Lamine, especialmente, un niño con un talento solo que lo tienen los elegidos. A mí me gusta decir que están tocados por esa varita de Dios.
In the end, he finished runner-up in La Liga with Barca, but coach Xavi had to leave at the end of the season. And then came an announcement that surprised quite a few people in the football world.
Futbolísticamente, pues creo que todos coincidiremos en que es un futbolista con un potencial excepcional y creo que está preparado para competir al máximo nivel y competir en la selección.
The 16-year-old made the Euro 2024 squad. And as we all know, Lamine wasn't just an observer, he was a core piece, and together with Nico Williams on the wings, he caused chaos. The young team won all their group games without conceding a single goal. And in the knockout stage, Yamal really started to blossom. With every match, the winger gained confidence and delivered 2 assists in both the round of 16 win against Georgia and the quarterfinal win against Germany. Then came the semi-final against France, where before the match, Rabiot said this famous line.
Jouer une finale d'Euro, il faudra en faire bien plus que ce qu'il a fait jusqu'à présent.
And Lamine's answer.
Lamine Yamal. Nice curl! Oh, I say what an unbelievable goal!
Lo he dicho antes de empezar el partido. Hoy va a ser tu día y vas a meter gol. Hoy iba a estar un poco flojo yo, pero mejor. Mi hermano ha metido gol. Ha metido gol. ¿Y qué?
Speak now, speak now. What was the meaning behind that?
Nada, era para la persona que era, ya sabrá que es para él.
In the final, Spain faced England, another team with a superstar, Jude Bellingham. But again, Yamal showed zero fear, Spain dominated. Yamal played remarkable on the right wing, and he set up the opener with a pinpoint assist. Luis de la Fuente's team deservedly won 2-1 in the end. While stars like Bellingham and Kane came to Germany to cement their legendary status, it was the skinny 16-year-old who stole the spotlight on the biggest stage. And this trend continued the following season. Mbappé teamed up with Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo to form a Real Madrid side that seemed to set to dominate both the league and the Champions League for years. But hey, they weren't prepared for the new Barcelona under coach Hansi Flick.
Rafinha con la pelota acompaña a Lamine Yamal, sigue Rafinha, Lamine en el área, Lamine, gol!
Lamine scored his first goal against Madrid, and Barcelona blew Real away with an unforgettable 4-0 win. And that wasn't all. Later, Barca also beat Real 5-2 in the Supercopa final and 3-2 in the Copa del Rey final, with Yamal directly involved in 3 more goals overall. In the winter of 2024, he won the Golden Boy Award as the best young player at just 17 years old. But as the season went on, Yamal's image shifted from best young player in the world to a serious Ballon d'Or contender. His display in the Champions League semi-final against Inter Milan was pure magic. Many saw it as the moment he truly stepped into Messi's footsteps.
From Lamine Yamal. Oh, it's one of the great Champions League goals.
And even though Barcelona lost to Inter in the end, they still had reason to celebrate. The football world was thrilled.
Pero no hay duda que tiene unas condiciones bárbaras y que hoy por hoy ya es uno de los mejores del mundo.
But this hype is also dangerous. What a lot of people forget is that before Lamine, there were other teenage superstars who suddenly disappeared from the spotlight. I mean, at Barca alone, Ansu Fati and Bojan Krikic are examples. For Lamine, it'll be crucial not to get distracted by all the attention and to keep his focus on football. And to show, hey, I can play at a world-class level, not just for one season, but over 10, 15 years. That's exactly what made Messi so exceptional, performing at the highest level for years.
Lo que pido de verdad es que deje el chico crecer tranquilamente, no le hagan tanta presión para el bien del fútbol, para disfrutar muchos años de un talento así, dejarle tranquilo, crecer a su manera, crecer con tranquilidad y disfrutar de ellos muchos años, es lo que espero.
In 2025, he was one of the top favorites for the Ballon d'Or, but in the end he finished second behind Ousmane Dembélé. But I'm sure if he keeps on going like this, it's only a matter of time before we see Lamine with a trophy. I mean, the guy's only 18 years old.
Al final soy un niño que intenta mostrar su alegría siempre dentro del campo y fuera del campo y nada, feliz con su vida de momento.